And we have, we're blessed, we have another speaker. We had a sister that came up here from North Kakalaka, right? Delores. And your topic is permission to move on. So, with no further
Hello, family. My name is Delores, and I'm an addict.
Hey, Delores.
First things first, I want to thank the God of my understanding for another day alive and free. And I don't know. Thank you for sharing. Like 10 minutes ago, I just got super duper emotional, and and I got overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude. Um, And I was called to ask, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, you're going to be able to make it? Can you make it to Atlanta?" Thanks, Francis. And for the 30 and over, and sometimes I don't always see myself as the 30 and over kind of crew thing. Um, and the reason I don't is because I got to Narcotics Anonymous very young. I got here at 20 years old, so do the math. But I got here at 20 years old and I stayed. And I grew up in this process. And in the process of growing up in something, even the concept of growing up in something, you expect change. So a lot of times, I'll hear the comparison of back then to right now, but my expectation was for it to change and for us to change with it. Because when I got here, y'all told me change I must or die I will. Y'all told me that I had to move on from my old way of thinking and come into a new way of thinking. So I don't make the comparison as much because I don't want the newer member to feel like that they're missing something that we have. What I want the newer member to know is that they're more fortunate.
Yeah. How about that?
They're more fortunate. It was our predecessors' hard-won experience that formulated not just this program of Narcotics Anonymous and the 10 to 12 steps and the 12 traditions and now the 12 concepts and all the literature that came that you're more fortunate to have. Because when I got here, we didn't have all that stuff. But what we did have was each other. We had each other. We had our experience, strength, and hope. And we had, a fellowship. I'm also not one of those people that say it's about the program and not the fellowship. That's not my experience. My experience is that the fellowship saved my life. It was people standing up here sharing gut level honest about what they had been through, how they got through, and where they were now that made me attracted to this program, attracted to this. It was when I got to the program, it just taught me how to live a more productive life. When I learned the principles and how to apply them in my life, it made me live a more productive life. But I need a job. If y'all had just gave me a book and handed me a book and said, go recover the principles and the program is in the book, I'd still be smoking crack.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done this on my own. I couldn't have got this like that. So when I thought about the topic, when the brother called me permission to move on, I thought about all of the times in this process over these 30 years that I had to give myself permission to move on. Because we could stay stuck. They used to have the SOS slogan, stuck on stupid. Right? I didn't realize when I got here that I had to give myself permission to move on. I didn't realize when I got here that that required a level of humility that I didn't have. Because I don't know about you. I come out the hood. What you see today ain't ain't how I came in. I've come from Charlotte, things say Charlotte, but I'm originally a New Yorker. I'm from the South Jamaica Queens. I come from a place, man, where wasn't nobody giving you no permission to move on. You fought to death. It was survival of the fittest. You fought to the end. You stuck and stayed to the end. Wasn't no getting out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know anything about spiritual principles. I didn't even know anything about a spiritual awakening because I didn't know my spirit was dead. I didn't know anything about none of this stuff. When I got to Narcotics Anonymous, I got here because I was in severe pain. And I'm not talking about the physical pain. I told you I was 20 when I got here. Gucci was still selling at 20. It was still good. It's still good. That's not good. But I'm just saying. All I'm saying is when I got here, I still had a lot of run out there. Getting here, not being able to use dope didn't work for me no more. I don't know nothing about that. Every time I did put the dope in, I got out. What I knew is that I got here in a spiritual bottom. I'm talking about spiritually bankrupt. I wanted to kill myself.
Right.
It wasn't because I ain't had no more people to use. I come out of a household where everybody used everybody. I come out of that household, full of junkies, full of people that use and got out. I ain't even gonna do too much of that, but I'm gonna say this, there's no level of pain I don't know. I used to share that I was born to a woman that never loved me. Today I know I was born to a woman that didn't know how to love.
That's right.
I'm clear about that today. I just know that void she had was passed down to me. And I had to give myself even permission to move on from that void.
Come on, baby.
To not waddle in the what I didn't have and what I don't know, and I ain't know no better, and I ain't got it, and I ain't gonna make no amends to my kids, because shoot, they ain't gonna hold me hostage to that shit. Wait a minute, hold on, that ain't my message.
Right.
The amends process says that we don't just get to move on, it says we have to undo the harm, we had to right the wrong before we move on. It said once we know better, we have to do better, right? Before we move on. So permission to move on for me, and what I got right now, right here in my life, is that I looked over my process and I seen how many times I got stuck, stayed stuck, until I did some work and gave myself permission to move on.
That part.
And I can really break my 30 down into 7-year cycles. And I use 7 because it's a year completion. It shows the completion of something and the beginning of something new. It shows my growth. My first 7 years, I came in here and I stayed clean and lived dirty. I was one of them addicts. Y'all told me monkeys couldn't sell bananas. I said, oh, bullshit. I need to go back and get some of that money I so freely gave away. And I didn't think that the program was necessary. I thought the clean time and the clean time celebration was what I was here for. I thought them key tags that we used to wear down to the floor and the color, key tags, I thought that solidified who I was. I stayed clear. Look, I came here, I joined the no matter what club, I got underneath the wing of the no matter what, and that's all we did. But I didn't realize that the disease of addiction was spiritual in nature. I didn't know that till way later on. And the spirit, like any good living organism, if you don't feed it, it dies. I didn't know that. I had nothing to compare a woke spirit to.
You better come on, baby.
So I was in the same state that had always been, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you this because I come in here and I do exactly what I know how to do. I trade. Trigger, trade, sanction. But I come in here with that mentality. I'm a little abused girl, molested at 9, molested again at 11 to 17. I come from the horrors of addiction, verbal, physical, mental, spiritual abuse, you name it. It's been done to me or I watched it done to someone else. I'm desensitized to pain when I get here. Pain is all I know. I'm desensitized to any level of violence. I've seen it, been around it. My mother diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic way too late. Way too late. So abuse is all I know. So when I come in here and y'all tell me I don't have to use again, and I get my behind back, and I start scouring the room, and I'm 20, he 40, I'm in the shelter, he got an apartment, I'm on the bus, he got a car, he got a job, I can get an allowance, we smoke cigarettes, hell, we go together. And then y'all do me one better. Y'all tell me that I'm the newcomer and I'm the victim in this. Now give me permission to do whatever I want to him, and I'm going to be the victim. And victim is what I know. Victimizing is what I know. So I say this because I come in here looking for somebody to take care of me. I come in here not thinking anything about codependency. We hadn't got that far. We hadn't progressed that far in our process. Right? We didn't have them old cool words back then. Y'all told me that it was okay to lay down with people, just don't catch no feelings. As if I had some. Y'all tell me, you know, just don't get emotionally involved. Like, what love got to do with it? I'm telling you the messages we got because we didn't know better.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Right? That's why the newer member is more fortunate.
Yeah.
Y'all have our hard-won experience.
Come on.
And the fact that you don't use it is your bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't be quick to tell me where I should be with 30 unless you can let me tell you where you should be with 10.
Yeah.
I actually got some experience in the matter. Right? So what I say all that to say, because I got to paint this picture for you to understand that my first 7, all I know is how to, you know, trick and trade and do everything that I used out there, that skill set, that tool set, and come in here and use it here. I don't have anything else. We can't like look at newer members and demand that they use something they don't have.
That's right. Wow.
How am I going to build a house with half the tools? It's broken. It's going to remain broken until I finish developing. So I go back to the block. I go get with Bobo because as I kept trading up and up, he had the best deal. I'll take care of you. That's easy. But what I don't know, and this is where the permission to move on comes in, what I don't know, it's like the spirit is a growing, living organism. If you don't feed it, it dies. Or if it's already dead, it won't awaken. You haven't fed it with anything to wake it up. Right? Y'all said it's slicker. Light and darkness can't occupy the same space.
That's right.
So 7.5 years, I'm sitting in county jail looking at a 4.5 to 9. Right?
That part.
That part. Because this monkey could sell bananas. She just forgot they sell in the jungle. I didn't know I couldn't change, that my spirit couldn't awake. And as long as I was in the jungle selling these bananas, that I had to remain the same.
That's right.
Just not you. Right? I don't know that because I ain't get that far yet. But what I do know is that in the jungle, you can't grow because when Bobo run off with your package, we just gonna let go and let God. It's not gonna be response. I know that. We just gonna pray for him. Same love, same hug when he get back. Yeah, that ain't how that goes.
That's right.
So I need to keep a level. I can't, y'all can't touch that part of me. I need that for where I'm at. So 7.5 years sitting in county jail. I mean, like, I have my first spiritual awakening. Used to be a brother, predecessor, he's no longer here. His name was James What a Guy. If you're from New York, you probably know James What a Guy. When I hear the like, and right now, when I hear people use that, he always come to mind, right? Because that was his thing. But James What a Guy said to me, because they used to call me Baby Dinosaur because I was young in his fellowship. And James What a Guy said to me one time, he said, baby girl, who the fuck the matter with you now? Who the fuck the matter with you now? He said, you gotta tone it down, your life is too loud. Because I come from the era of things. I come from the money, property, prestige era. I don't know what y'all, listen, man. When I came here, y'all had Minx to the Flow, y'all had Jules, y'all had the little Mr. T Starter Kid, y'all had the little kind of, not quite hoopty, but a notch above hoopty outside. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had apartments. Y'all look good to me. I wanted what y'all had. This is a program of attraction rather than promotion. I was attracted to those things. So when I came here, I went about the business of getting those things. And that's okay. I ain't gonna never tell you you're a dressed up garbage can. I'm gonna tell you take care of the outside until you're ready to go inside. Our fourth step ain't the first step. We didn't take you inside that early.
That's right.
We didn't take you there that early. It was okay to do the outside when I got here. That's all I knew how to do. That was the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. Don't do no dope.
You gotta be careful about these messages. That steps is in order for a reason. They don't introduce you to the fourth step. You gotta connect you to a God in the first three so that you can be spiritually equipped to deal with you in the fourth, with what you see on the inside. But that's a whole nother thing. So I need you to know that, like, first 7 years, I'm selling dope, I'm with Bobo, my life is too loud, I'm running around in the car and the starter kits, and I'm thinking, I'm winning. I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't using, I'm winning. Until I'm in county jail. Looking at this 4.5 to 9, trying to figure out what the hell happened.
Right.
Hey, I'm in recovery.
Come on, Delores.
And sure enough, recovery shows up for me. I love the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. Man, y'all came in drones. Y'all came in drones for this little girl. Y'all came in, y'all doping y'all way in to come share. If you had jobs, you didn't want to write your name on the visitors list and stuff. So y'all like dope fiends y'all way to come in and share and just give me a hug. And tell me to hold on. This too shall pass. Right? Change you must, or die you will. I only could identify with a spirit, with a physical death before then. It wasn't until then could I start identifying with the spiritual death. I have my first spiritual awakening in Valhalla County Jail, and what it said was, little girl, it's time to grow up. You played around long enough. I'm 27. And I tell my sponsor to get me some literature. She brings in literature. I begin to embark on a step process. So my first 7, I'm a dope dealer. Drug dealer's girlfriend. Living ghetto fabulous, my dream. The next 7, I come out, and now I realize, because they deport my ex-husband, they send him back to Panama, and I'm stuck with these 2 kids that I've never really had to take care of, because I had nannies. I had live-ins. So now I come home to these kids like, oh, shit. I got to take care of them. I know how to dress them up. I know how to cut their hair. I got 2 boys, thank God. But I don't really know what else I'm supposed to do with them. Because I got this void in my spirit. I got this hole inside of me that I done tried to fill with money, property, prestige. Some of him, some of him, some of them, some of something, right? And now I got to come out and like learn how to be this productive member of society. Y'all told me like if I didn't learn to do my own 7 tradition, that I would have to be the best. So like my next 7, I'm trying to figure out like what am I supposed to do, and then all that old teaching from my foster mother kicks in, and she was a workaholic. I know what I'll do. I'll just go to work. And I go about the business of going to work. And I go to work, and I go to work, and I go to work, and I go to work so much that y'all didn't tell me I'm a workaholic. Because I'm trying to get the same things I had in that lifestyle with a working job. So I can't just do 40 hours, I gotta do 60 hours a week. And any other overtime they offer me. And in the process, I got people saying, oh, look, she's a productive member of society. But I got this little boy at home that says, Ma, I still never see you. You might as well go back to jail. Ma, you still ain't here. You might as well be smoking crack. We don't see you no way. Ma, you ain't no better than my auntie who ain't never here for her son, who now I got, because you do the same thing. They don't know the difference. They children. They don't understand the difference between you being a crackhead and missing and you being at work and missing. They don't think, it's no difference to them. It took my child to say this to me, and I started to realize, like, I came in the rooms with Narcotics Anonymous. I said, like, I don't think I got that thing. They said, what thing? I'm talking about like that thing for these kids. I know how to dress them up, I know how to feed them, and I know how to keep the lights on. I don't think I have that kind of thing that says like I'll take a boot. Is it something I should do about that? And like back then, we used to have parenting workshops at conventions. And I went to a parenting workshop and I seen, heard this woman share, and I heard her share like that she needed to go back and learn how to be a parent. And I had to give myself permission to not pretend that I was a parent. I had to go back and give myself permission to move on from this little girl who didn't know jack about parenting because I never had one, to actually go and learn how to become one and let somebody else teach me. I had older women in this process say like, and they said it like this too, because I was a little hostile back then. They said, well, if you stop dropping him off so you can show up for every party and you actually like spend some time with him, you kind of get to know him. And you probably don't have the connection you were supposed to have with him because, were you getting high when you was pregnant? I said, yeah, I did for a little while. I said, yeah, because you probably was disconnected. And then like men, y'all connect when the child comes out and y'all born when the child comes out. And she says, well, what happened when you had your son? I said, well, I dropped him off at my sister's house. She said, so then you didn't get the bond in either. But don't worry, it's not too late. You can go back and do that. Right? I'm like, huh, really? Yeah. So I go back and I develop this relationship with my kids. I give myself permission to not know how to be a mother when I had no mother to teach me how to be a mother. So I go back to move on and go back. Let me go backtrack and get these kids and learn. And then I give my permission to do something else. Myself permission to do something else. To move on from that misinformed information I got from the misinformed people that raised me. I'm talking about that do as I say, not as I do. Them people. I had to come and develop some new stuff. I had to pioneer a new way of parenting because all I knew was abuse. All I knew, you don't do what I say. What? That's all I knew. My friends used to say, you let him talk to you like that? You don't think he's a little disrespectful? And I used to say, well, how could I correct what's in his mind if I don't know it? How could I change his thinking if I never let him talk to tell me his thinking? I come from a place where children were seen, I heard. So it was hard for me to tell my mother that I was abused at 9 by her boyfriend because I didn't have that kind of relationship with her. We didn't talk about nothing. She dictated orders and I did it or I got my ass whipped. I didn't think she could relate to me telling her something. And she might believe him anyway. He an adult. So for real, I come from a place where, by my perspective, where we teach our kids how to be good victims. So now I got to change this thing. I got to start communicating with them, listening to them, letting them have an opinion. I got to move on. I got to give myself permission, man, because this stuff is rooted in me. I got to give myself permission to leave, walk away from my family. They teaching everything that I thought I knew was subject to revision. I got to revise it. And I got to, still go back to them when I see them saying stuff like, you don't think he, and I got to go, look, man, how did shit work out for you? Don't tell me about how we got parented. How did it work out for you? We all crackheads. We all junkies. It didn't work. We don't have to keep doing this stuff. It didn't work, right? It took a level of permission for that. So my next 7 years, I'm a workaholic. I get the promotions. I'm an IBMer. I do all of that stuff. I got the material stuff. But I noticed something. My spirit had awoken, but it wasn't growing. I started noticing people around me. I heard her say, me getting to this spiritual plateau where they was just, God is good all the time. I'm so grateful. because you got to see if it's real or, memory. Because I also come from the fake it till you make it era. So I don't know if you still faking it or did you actually make it yet. So, I'm taking inventory. But what I did notice with my sponsor in particular is that she had a level of peace that I hadn't seen in a while. And she didn't have a lot. She had, the regular basics, but she didn't have a lot. And she still was just so happy and joyous and free. I'm like, I think I miss her. And I realized that when I went through the steps the first time, real surface, real basic, like most of us do. If you're a step maker, you realize one time ain't gonna work. You don't have to go through a few times. And every time you'll reach a different level of honesty, a different level of spiritual awakening, you'll reach a different reward too. Right? Because like, how free do you want to be? I remember me asking my sponsor, like, how honest do you want me to be? She said, well, how free you want to be? Because your freedom is connected to your level of honesty. Right? So like, I need to say, so the next 7, I'm going to speed it up. First 7, I'm a drug dealer. Second 7, I'm a workaholic. The next 7, I decide, you know what? I need to go retrain myself. And I go back to school. I become a student for the next 7 years. And in the process of being a student, I come to learn some truths about myself. That I didn't just think I was smart, I actually was. I'm pretty intelligent. I got some scores and some degrees to say that. But I also learned that in that process is that if I wanted to be, for my kids, because that's what it's about now for me, for these children it's not good enough for me to say, go to college, go to school, be great, that I had to be the power of example. I had to push myself and raise the bar. Like I had heard somebody share about my outsides, measuring my insides to your outsides. I had to learn that I couldn't do that no more. The bar was too low.
That part.
That everybody degree coming here at different rates of recovery and different degrees of sickness, but we also have different rates of recovery. And I could no longer measure myself to y'all. I had to find a higher standard. And y'all told me that I could find that higher standard in a higher power. That I had to, like in 11th step, come to an understanding of, improve on that conscious contact with the God of my understanding and set the bar, let him set my bar.
Yes.
Right? So I had outgrew some stuff. But the people I was running with, a lot of people I was cool with, they wasn't there yet. And I had to give myself permission to step away.
There you go.
My sponsor told me sometimes you stand on principle, you stand alone. Sometimes we have to give our self permission to stand alone. And it hurts. That's painful. It's hard to leave the hurt, man. It's hard to step away. People say, I'm from the era, don't step out of here on religious zeal. And I said, yeah, they right. Until I actually work the 11th step. Where it actually sends you out on a journey outside of here. To improve on the conscious contact with the God of your own understanding. It didn't say don't go, it said don't not come back.
Hey, right.
Once you go back. It never told us not to go. In fact, it encouraged you to go. Come on. Right? It just said keep coming back once you go. So when I actually get into that, I realize that I'm a business major, but I really should be somewhere else. So I wound up in seminary school, improving on the conscious contact of a God of my understanding. I come from, real religious Bible thumping people. My grandparents. My mother, she was part-time Jehovah's Witness, probably from about November to January. That part when you avoid Christmas. I'm the 4th of 5 girls. So around November, she started letting them in. Around January, she was so religion was real confusing for me. I came in here, then I got a house full of 5%ers. I mean, it was crazy. So I decide that I need to get a more clearer understanding for myself.
That's right.
In what I believe, in what I identify with. So, I take on the journey to go to seminary. But in that process of that 7 years, the major thing I had to give myself permission to do was to remain open-minded, to not get locked and loaded on no fixed idea, to become less self-reliant and more God-reliant, to become less obsessive and compulsive, and more grounded in my spiritual growth and development. And that was difficult because I still like to shake what your mom gave you. I do. I still like to party. I still like to hang out. I still kind of like go on them too, but I'm going to leave them alone, right? So I still like the lifestyle. We can say it. We like the lifestyle. And I had to find balance.
Right.
Because there's no right or wrong. It's your balance. It's what's balanced for you. I do my life. People, he's doing the clubs. Yeah. I do that. I need to say that. I do that.
Tonight.
Right. But I need to say that I'm in the clubs with other recovered addicts.
Right.
And we doing lives promoting clean and sober fun.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It works for me. It don't have to work for you.
No.
That's the part I had to give myself permission to be myself.
Right. Yes.
And to move on from anybody that try to stifle and kill me and put me in their little box and tell me who I should be. Yeah, I don't rock with y'all. My square don't fit in every circle. It's okay though. I let you be where you at for real. And I mean, like, when I say for real, I mean, like, I love you, I hug you, we talk when we see each other, we cool as a fan. I ain't got nothing against you. But then I'm rolling out. To the club. So I need to say, like, I had to give myself permission to be myself and move on or away from anybody that tried to squash that out of me. That's not your job.
Right.
We carry the message, we don't carry the addicts, we power of examples. We examples of the power of a higher power, not examples of our own power. Control is impossible the moment it's suggested. And I'm not here to beat you into submission. I'm in here to love you into change. If I think your skirt's too short, I need to wear my skirts long enough that you think your skirts is too short. And you want what I had to offer. But why you got the short skirt on, I'm going to say, hey, nice skirt. You running back and forth to the coffee pot, I'm going to say, light and sweet. Splendor. I'm going to give you your process. You understand? Because in the permission to move on, when I had to give myself permission to grow up, to grow older, to be responsible, not be the basket, move on, I got to give you the same courtesy.
Right. There you go.
Right? I ain't got no heaven or hell to put you in no way. No sense in me judging. Right? So, like the next 7 in my process of moving on, now I'm in school. I'm a student. My next 7, I come out of school. I say, you know what? I think I want to try something new. And I go to work for myself, and I open up a transitional housing program, and it blow up, and everybody's angry. You know how we are. We want you to do well, just not better than us.
That's right.
And along come the vultures, and along come everybody from everywhere, and they got an opinion on what I should do and how I should do it and why I should do it, how much I should make doing it, what I should do with the money after I make it. And y'all all got a bunch of opinions. Y'all just don't got shovels to dig. Y'all only tell me where to put the body, you don't dig the hole. So like, so I gotta, and I'm being bombarded, really, like people that I don't even know walking up to me with positions on who I am and what they think I should be. And I'm confused, like, because I'm in the South, but I'm from New York. So I'm like, come from a place, we live in the projects, we never speak. Who would even give you the impression? Who would even give you the impression you can walk up on me and tell me anything about anything?
Come on, Delores.
And they calling it arrogance. They don't know. They ain't got nothing to do with arrogance. I'm just hood. Right? So I need you to know, right, that I had to give, in my process of giving myself permission to move on, I had to give myself permission to move on from the people that wanted to keep me stuck. So now I'm looking at more mature meetings. So now I go join a more mature home group. And now I go do some things that I need to do to feed my spirit. And I hang out with some more mature recovering addicts. And I accept that I got 30 years in this process. And that even though I'm hood and I'm attracted to the newer member and my heart go out to them and I want to help them, they can't help me in the man I need help. So I still got to go around with these guys to get the help I need, my predecessors. I got to have, my sponsor's analogy, she says, well, if you're a teapot and you pouring and you pouring and you pouring and you pouring, eventually you empty, then what?
Right.
You got to go among some people that can pour back into
That's
you.
right.
Whew. And I got to get more open-minded and I got to get humble to ask for help. Sometimes some people with less time, but they've worked on and developed in an area that I didn't think I needed at the time. Sometimes I got to give myself permission to go outside of my own skin pigmentation to get the help that I need and not feel like, because I'm still hood, and not feel like I'm betraying y'all in some way, some sick way. And you know, when I go into my new places of business and my new partnership, I get to like give myself permission to speak properly. And when I come back, sometimes I forget to turn it off, and y'all be like, oh, you talk like a white girl. And I go, really? I need to say like that I needed to give myself permission to move on from a lot of things. And I know you might have read that topic and thought this was about a dude. But we have to give ourselves permission to move on in our process. We have to give ourselves the permission to keep growing, to keep going, to sometimes stand alone until the rest of y'all catch up. You know, I love this poem, and I can't remember, it's like, you know, it starts with the, you know, who am I not to be great poem. And one of the things I love about that is because it's not our darkness that we're afraid of. We live in darkness. We breathe in darkness. We thrive in darkness. It's the light that scares us. Like, I'm going to say this in regards to relationships. Like, I got involved with somebody, I'm, you know, in love with that individual, and the person came to me and said he wasn't ready for the nature of the relationship that I was ready for. He had did some, you know, time, had been away for some time, and he didn't want to hurt me, he didn't want to drag me. He thought enough of me to let me go. He asked me for 1 year to wait, and I thought that was ridiculous. But what I found out was that, like, it stopped even being about the request. It started being about the fact that I have just grown so much that I don't jump in and out anyway. So I didn't need to give him a year. Hell, I needed to give me a year. I needed to sit still for a minute and take a look at some things around me. And then I needed to learn how to, like, give myself permission to love unconditionally despite what anybody else may think or say about the nature of that relationship. Like, I needed to give myself permission to be absent of fear of your judgment. So that no matter how I move when the year is over, I stay true to me and not y'all. Right? So, like, when I think of permission to move on, man, I think it's simultaneously with permission to grow up. I see a lot of people growing old. I don't see a lot of people growing up. Right? And I think that the program of Narcotics Anonymous has afforded us the ability like no other program in the world. It'll take a something dark spirit, it'll bring it into a light spirit, it'll elevate it, you know what I mean, to a higher degree of light. Kind of like one of those, you know, switches when you go little, dim, light, bright. You know what I mean? And however you want, however light you want to be. It just depends on how much work you want to do, how far in you want to go. I knew that the journey continues, so you don't even have to work steps if you don't want to. It says clean time is enough for some of us. So I'm not here to tell you whether or not you want to come into the light. Step into the light, right? I just want to tell you that it's available.
Yeah.
And that, like, the broader your base, the higher your point of freedom. Right? And you can't grab new ideas on closed minds. So if you just got here and you're trying to tell me with 30 what I should be doing, I'm going to say, keep coming. Give me a hug.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, give me a hug. Bless your heart. Because I know that you don't know no better. I'm not going to be offended. I'm going to love you. And I'm going to let you exhume in my light. And if my light too bright for you, look away, because it won't be dim.
I know that's right.
Thank you for letting me share.